many people don't have the protection of an insurance policy. But the second piece I saw for the first time in my life was the power of having money and the ability to do everything you can to try to alleviate the guilt from the person who didn't make the right steps. Now, my brother-in-law was a hardworking guy, and he always used to say to me, I know I'm behind, but I'll make up for it. I'll make up for it. I got time. I got time. I got time. He was 46 when he got diagnosed. He died at 47. He didn't have the time. And he left a wife and 4 children with nothing financially. And my wife and I stepped in, we covered all the bills, took care of everything for the year. We tried everything we possibly could to get him the best care. We literally removed all his financial worries. Those were the absolute greatest checks I've ever been able to write. And unfortunately, it didn't work. He still passed. Now, could you imagine if he had a $50,000 policy, a $100,000 payout, what that would have done to his mindset, to the mindset of his widow, to the mindset of his children? It would have changed everything. You guys are pricing policies for families, and you all tell me what the number is, but let's say it's, and Alex, I saw one of your YouTube videos. I watched the game plan video, which just showed me what a true pro you are. I mean, you were able to white that piece of paper out with exactly the game plan for everybody. But let's just say it's $100 a month for a client to get their hands on a policy. $100 a month would have changed everything in this situation. And you guys have that power when you're on the sits to say, let me just tell you a damn story. Right. And we all have these stories. Every one of us has been impacted by cancer or by sudden death. And did the other person make just small moves? That's the beautiful part about insurance, y'all. And I talk about it in the book. And insurance is the ultimate hedge against a person's brokenness. Like if your wife or your spouse is worried sick about money, right? There's more month than there is money. We've all been there. And you come home one day and say, hey, honey, guess what I did for us today? I bought us a $250,000 policy. If something happens tomorrow to me, you get $250,000. You just made her day. What is it going to cost? $100 a month to make that security happen in your family? If you worry about how you're going to make it, you can hedge the brokenness with insurance for $100 a month, $200 a month. So as you guys can see, I'm unbelievably passionate about how can we help wake people up to the fact that insurance is one of the greatest hedges and trades a person can do, not just for the unknown of what could happen, but also the security that our families need. Right. I mean, the rocker wants that security, right? She's always tapping on the watch. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? What are you doing home? Go out, go kill something for me. Get back and cook it, right? Go get it. Well, I'm speaking, I apologize if this comes across, only talking about the men, but I believe our spouses want security. Now, they want to go get it for themselves. A lot of women do too, but if they're home taking care of the children, which is a CEO job anyway, you better go home and cook the bacon, man, and you better bring it home. And sometimes you may not win today, but you can win by hedging against with insurance. So I know I rambled a lot, Alex, and I apologize for that, but I just...
No. That was perfect. I remember that story. That was amazing. And I remember you sharing about how your brother-in-law, used to spend money on other things, right? Whether it was dinners or I think you mentioned iPhones and new gadgets and stuff. And I think a lot of people do that, and yet they can't, or they won't pay for life insurance, so it's always, I feel like it's not a money issue. A lot of times it's a priority issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And since my brother-in-law's death, I lost my best friend and Rocky lost her best friend, both very early. So I have paid for 5 funerals for people that we care about who are not in a position to do it for themselves. And, you know, I like to challenge people, right? We all have that rich uncle. Well, every one of us has that uncle. He bought the corner lot when it was real cheap and it went up in value. And now the whole family talks about Uncle Bob. You know, Uncle Bob's with the money. Be Uncle Bob. Why not you? Right? Why not you? Why not you be Aunt Rita? Why can't you be that rich uncle or that rich aunt in your family? It just comes down to a doggone choice. And I challenge everybody, man, be that person in the family, because when you get to write some of those checks to finish somebody with respect, to finish their life with respect and dignity, there is no better check you can write.
Wow, it must feel amazing. Yeah. Now, Matt, if you can talk to us, how did your relationship with Hector come about? How did you guys connect? That's really cool.
I literally, again, taking in content like I do, I had been watching early Hector Lamarck videos. And I don't know how many of you go way back and watch the early YouTube Hector.
Oh, yeah.
There's fire and brimstone coming out of that.
Yeah.
Right? Today he seems so calm and cool and collected, but some of those early YouTubes, I mean, he's just jumping off the stage, and I really resonated with that.
Wow.
I just began to take in a ton of his stuff, and then I saw him on a Cardone episode. I think it was a Power Players episode.
Yeah.
And I just immediately reached out to him and developed, a distance type of a connection. And then I really started to support him on his Twitter growth and all that sort of stuff. And then I had him on my podcast, and I've just had a tremendous deep respect for him. I think especially too, because I saw that raw energy that he had so early. And then I've also watched him now refine it, right? And really become a true pro. And I've tried to do a lot of that in my own life. I have literally had to temper the rawness. And I think watching Hector do it has helped me do it a little
inspiring,
bit.
man. Like, shoot, if you can do it, we can do it. That's really cool. Okay. Now, Matt, you've got this incredible book, right? You Need More Money. How did you get that title? I mean, if I said to you, Matt, I've never heard of your book. What is it in a nutshell? What's your book all about?
I believe the book is the ultimate wake-up call, in which everybody understands the concept of why they need more money. And I have gotten a tremendous amount of hate for this book, like
really?
comments, social media advertising campaigns and comments that have just been terrible. But that's for people who never read the book, because you only have to get 3 or 4 pages in, and I begin to open up my brother-in-law's story, and it begins to say, this is the reason you need more money, not to go buy stuff, it's to help others, right?
Right.
But I wrote a little story about my brother-in-law's death. It was a little bit of a cleansing story, and it happened to get picked up by a agent in New York who said, I read your story, and I really think you should turn it into a book.
Wow. I
had written my first book, The Grit, which I self-published. And then the agent, to be frank with you, I wrote the manuscript for You Need More Money, and the agent sold the rights to Penguin Random House, and they chose to publish it. And I'm pleased to say the book has sold the tens of thousands of copies, and I believe it's helped a lot of people. And the premise, Alex, though, is really at some point we do have to wake up and get out of this concept that I call false positive. False positive is when we believe we are doing better than we really are. It's when the bills don't come on pink slips anymore. It's when we can go out and buy the Prada purse. It's when we can go buy the boat. Maybe we can do the $10,000 Disney trip that we've been talking about. But it really doesn't have any indication of whether we're doing well financially, right? It's just we ain't broke anymore, Right. And so what I was trying to do with which is all the things I've taken in, I didn't really see a roadmap. And so I tried to write my roadmap. This is how I literally did it. The steps I took from skilling up and then finding the right platform. Everybody has to be in a platform that allows them to make a lot of money if they want to make a lot of money. right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you find the right platform? I go through the whole process. If you work for somebody, how do you get a job increase? What do you have to do? How much money do you need, right? I argue in the book that unless a person has $50,000 liquid cash, they should still consider themselves broke. And I know that freaks a lot of people out and thinks it's a big deal. But I tell a story in the book when I had 10,000 bucks. I don't know if you remember it, Alex, but I called Rocky into this house that I'm in right now. I called into the office and said, "You're not going to believe this." She said, "What?" I said, "We have $10,000 saved up." She said, "No way. You saved $10,000?" I said, I can't believe it either. We saved 10 grand. And I can tell you that 10,000 was such a milestone that more to us than in that exact same bank account when I had $1 million in that bank account. The 10,000 meant more to us than the $1 million. That's how fast it can change when we start to get momentum.
Wow. That's exciting. That's exciting. So, Matt, I know you talked about money, how money's changed. You know, what money was back then versus what it is now. So, like, as an example, if you hear, I don't know why, but it seems like 100 grand a year, which is 6 figures, is like the target for a lot of people. They just want to get to 100,000 a year. Tell us, in your mind, I mean, is 100 grand a year any money at all?
Well, if you're making 50, it is, right?
Right.
So I think perspective does matter, and I think decency and lack of judgment does matter, but that's not really what the book is about. The book is supposed to wake people up to the reality of what money looks like. I graduated college 1991. To be in the top 1% of earners, you needed to make $100,000. Wow. Today, to be in the top 1% of earners, you need to make $384,000.
Wow.
So the money has moved. And I think a lot of us are still chasing these old numbers of what is good money. I think 100 is this number that I continually hear. And I would challenge everybody that there was a time where 100 put you in the top 1%, and that time has come and gone. The new number to be in that category is 384,000. So, do you understand that? And then more important, do you actually have some sort of a roadmap started to be built to achieve that? And I know that you could ask Alex tonight for that roadmap, and in 2 seconds, he'd put that right down on a piece of paper and show it to you. I mean, Alex, am I right? You snap a picture and text it everything.
Without a doubt, yep.
So that's the exciting part is if we've made the right choice to be in the right platform, that the income should be there. But I wrote 75,000 words for the book. The publisher cut it down to 50,000. So they literally cut 25,000 words out of the book. Most of that was data, and a big chapter that I wrote that said they took it out of the book because they said this would alienate the American public. And my argument in that chapter was that life begins at 150 grand a year. Life gets better at 250 grand a year, and life gets real good at 500.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just the way it plays out, y'all. If y'all want some love and a little bit of slap at the same time, those are the numbers. Life begins at 150, life gets better at 250, life gets real good at 500. That's just the way it plays out.
150, 250, and 500.
And that should be everybody's goal. Get from wherever we are to 150, then move up the food chain to 250, and then figure out a way to get to 500. Because then at 250, you got a lot of momentum and strength and power behind you. That gets you to 5. And I promise you, when you get to 5, you start to scratch your head a little bit, and you're like, I think I can get to $1 million. Like, well, I got 5. I might be able to get there. Yeah. And everything begins to change at that point, right? And I would just challenge everybody that those numbers are not as far off as they once were. There are a lot of people making a lot of money right now. Right. And I believe it's economic spurts. I just think there's this huge expansion in the economy over the last decade in which there's just a lot of people. I mean, look at California, Alex. I know you're in Arizona, sure. But I mean, just think of Phoenix, for example. Like what you could have bought in Phoenix 10 years ago is $1 million doesn't go that far in Phoenix, certainly not in Scottsdale.
Right, true.
The money's moved, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, the deal is, are we getting it? Are we getting our piece? Because it's moved. It's more expensive to do everything good now.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, from just us personally, I remember um, it was right when we got to about 200K a year that I felt like, wow, like we can save a lot of it now. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can, wow,
I
everything.
got some breathing room, right? Holy smokes.
Yeah, like I get no more calls from bill collectors. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, it felt good, but it really started at about 200,000. That's when we felt it. Um, Matt, you also talked a lot about the blame game. What is that?
Yeah, I think we want to look someplace else, man. And I spend a lot of time looking in the mirror, and I ask myself all the time, what could I have done better? How could I improve? What is my version of responsibility in that situation? And I think a lot of us don't want to do that.
Mm,
And I think that's a quality of real winners. They take massive levels of responsibility for the outcome. Um, I mean, I can tell you in my marriage that many times I would like to blame the rocker, but the reality is not only does she not accept the blame, right? It falls on deaf ears. But the reality is that, I had something to do with all of it.
yeah.
I have something to do with everything. So why don't we just take full responsibility? And I know our friend Cardone has talked about that, right? Take full responsibility for everything.
Right.
So I under no circumstances do I want to feel as though I'm copying his idea on it, but it's such a good concept that it really does need to be talked about. The concept of it's probably not really somebody else's fault. You really did have something to do with that. And so, I believe there's mindsets, right? People are blamers,
Yeah.
and then people are dreamers, and then people are what I refer to in the book as game facers, just the guys and gals that are going to win at all costs.
Right.
The dreamers are wonderful people, but they are the ones that constantly say, one day when I win the lottery, I'm going to get that house.
Yeah. No.
It just doesn't come. Now, they're great to hang out with at cocktail parties and all that sort of stuff, and they're fun around the dinner table, and they're cool to hang with, but you certainly aren't going to play the roadmap that they play. You got to play the game facer roadmap. And the game facers just say, I'm going to get my piece.
Right. Now, Matt, what do you find that people tend to blame? Who do they tend to blame? The majority of people, other than their partner.
They certainly blame their boss. They certainly blame who's in the White House. They certainly blame their parents. And all of us have the ability to do that. Like, listen, all of us have stuff from our upbringings, man. All of us.
Yeah.
That's why when I talk about it, I want to be really clear that I don't have dislike for my old man. In fact, in a real twisted way, I really love him, because I would not have had the thick skin that I had to get the machine moving if he hadn't been such a hard ass. Now, he could have done it maybe in a little different way,
Right.
but you play the hand you're dealt, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I can relate to what you're saying. Now, Matt, how has this whole pandemic thing that we're going through, has it affected you at all a little bit, or any at all? And what would you say to somebody who's really caught up and just, just can't snap out, man? There's so much negativity going on, whether it's on your phone or on TV. It's like, how do you stay focused during these times? What would you say?
I can tell you when it hit, and it hit my office pretty hard, because within the first week we had somebody in our office come down with COVID. So we had to immediately shut down and send everybody home and work virtually. And we were not a virtual company. Everybody comes to our office, right? So that was a big shock to our company system. But I rallied the troops together and I said, man, I've been waiting for this day. I said, I am not a peacetime CEO. I am a wartime CEO. The more my back is to the wall, the better I come out.
Wow.
If it's all biscuits and gravy, like I'm probably not your best manager. But when it's getting real,
Yeah.
like, you want to bet the ranch on me. And I know that might come across as egotistical to some, but I can tell you, for you who are leading your teams, your team is craving you to do that for them.
Mm.
Especially in this pandemic situation, and even in other times, they're scared. And your job is to pull them up and lead them. So they want to know they're working for a fearless leader. So I would suggest every chance you get, show them that you have their back and that they can trust you and they should bet on you and they should ride your coattails. But the pandemic has been real economically. I'm not sure that it is real medically, right? I really do believe that the pandemic will play out to have less of a death rate than the flu. We will lose 80,000 people a year to the flu. And if we believe the numbers that came out this week, and I know the CDC countered this, but if the CDC numbers that came out and said that it was about 10,000 pure COVID deaths, that's almost 15% of the amount of people who die every year from the flu. And we don't shut down anything from the flu.
Right.
So this is a big economic shock. But let's think about it for a second. Most people aren't talking about this. Number one, the Fed came out at the beginning of this week that said they are going to leave interest rates low for the next 5 years. You can get a 30-year mortgage right now in the 2s. That's like free money, okay? So if that's going to happen, the stock market is at all-time highs.
Yep.
What most people don't know is for the second quarter, 83% of the companies in the S&P 500 on the stock market blew out their earnings. They beat the estimates for what they were going to do. That means they're making money.
Wow.
The economy is much stronger than the media is telling us it is. And I know that in your businesses, it is challenging to sit now. People are still freaked out about that, but there are ways to do it. And, we happen to get lucky in my business, and I really mean this. I mean, I broke my butt for 15 of the 25 years to get this thing moving. And who would have guessed that a pandemic happens and everybody has to be quarantined and they go to this thing called Amazon and buy tons of stuff and all of it's got to get shipped on a truck? Who would have guessed? All of our customers are busy. They're buying new equipment. They're getting a lot more freight. I mean, people need to understand 90% of what's in our homes gets delivered on a truck. So financing truckers is a pretty good business to be in, especially when people are buying a lot of stuff for their homes.
Wow.
Wood, steel, roof, concrete, refrigerators, toilet paper, all that stuff comes on a truck.
On trucks. Yeah. Oh, I know, man. I have a wife and daughters and we get deliveries here every day, man. There's a truck at my front door every day. That's cool. That's cool. Wow. Matt, for us, in our business, what we've preached for the last 43 years is exactly what's going on now. For example, we've talked about term insurance. Everybody should have term life insurance. We've talked about having an emergency fund set up and money put away in case of an emergency, right? Like we're going through now. And then we've also talked about having another stream of income, right? And so those three things, they fit perfectly with what's going on right now. So for us, it's like our moment to say, guys, we've been telling you this for 43 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been right. So we've been blessed in our business too. I'd like to open it up for some questions for our panelists here, if you're okay with that, Matt.
100%.
Yeah. Guys, let's ask some questions. And Matt, let me ask the first one here. Sorry. How many employees do you have, roughly, more or less?
65, and our new headquarters can hold up to 100.
Oh, nice.
Massive hiring mode trying to get that filled.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really it's a very special place. If anybody comes through Dallas, Texas, I'd love to show you our company headquarters. It's a really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Okay, who wants to go first, guys?
Alex, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Matt, it's my wife Patty and I. We got trained by Alex and Sandra, and we're super grateful to have you on this call. Man, you know what? I've actually, I read your book when it was Book of the Month. I looked you up, and I've actually heard a few of your podcasts. I know you talk about your son playing football a lot, right? But one of the things that, one of the podcasts that I really enjoyed was Hard Money to Easy Money. I really, really enjoyed that podcast. And you actually talk about the false positive in that podcast. And that really hit home because I think I probably went through about a year and a half to where I started thinking I was good. I started buying stuff and I just stagnated, you know? But I wanted to ask you, and I'm trying to be clear on my question here. When it comes to the hard money phase, okay, and you're in a platform where you can make money, because I truly believe that, you know, here in Primerica, we can actually, it's a viable platform to make a lot of money. What are some of the things that could make that time frame prolongate to just keep on prolonging you to get to the easy money?
Well, do you mean, Josh, to prolong it or to condense it, to get through hard money faster so you can get to the easy money?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to do it faster, but I want to be aware of, I would call them, I don't know, the giants or the enemies that I'm going to have to face that would actually not help me speed it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm involved in another business, a marketing company, and we had a pretty similar topic that we do a Tuesday night owners meeting. We had to get on to the management team a little bit. Dude, you guys aren't working hard enough. Like, that's just it. You scale with speed, whether it's an organization or you and every one of you are entrepreneurs. You are the entrepreneur inside of the umbrella. And, you know, a lot of people think they have to be the entrepreneur. I argue, and Alex, you might remember, Josh, you might remember in the book, I argue for intrapreneurship. The ability to be an amazing team player underneath a great umbrella is better than being the entrepreneur. It's really hard. Right. And all of you are running your own business under the umbrella, or at least I think you should look at it that way. So you scale with speed by condensing time. And so most people still have this concept of a 7 or an 8. I mean, let's not forget, y'all, you're on the call at close to 10 o'clock, right? There's children, there's meals. It's been a long day, and it's pushing midnight for me, and we're still cranking. That's how it goes.
Right.
So, you know, when you're trying to get to the next level, I mean, I would encourage everybody. It's 12-hour days, 6 days a week. That, to be honest with you, is kind of like, you know, that's like how it has to be. I mean, anything less than that will just prolong the success. By the way, if you can do it faster, I support you. If you have a way to make that happen, I support you. But I have never earned easy money until I got through the hard money. And hard money is hours and time and sacrifice. You know, I talk about it in the book all the time. You know, I can't tell you how many date nights I've canceled.
Yeah.
We had the problem. One of the partners in the business I'm talking about, it put in for vacation in September. We're like, didn't you just go on vacation in July? Like, what are you talking about? This,
right.
Dude, go home and tell your spouse that vacation's off.
Yeah.
I have done that so many times. It's impossible. And I said it to Rocky when I came home after that meeting. I said, how many times do you think that I had to do that? Like, did I have to do that a lot? She's like, are you kidding me? You did it all the time.
Yeah.
That's the pain for it. And that's just the way it is, man. Listen, we all start in the same place. I guarantee you that most of us on this call didn't have some roadmap that led us to security. And so we got to play that hand, y'all. And we got to make up for that. We got to get to the next level. And it is possible. It just might take us a little bit longer than this person who, you know, had daddy who tells them how it's going to go, and they start with a little seed capital, and they have a business that the dad or mom started and they could roll into. None of us had that. So we got to play the hand we're dealt. And that we condense that time and success, Josh, through.
Man, you're firing me up, man. I'm pumped up, man. Really, last question, I promise. How did the process where your wife got on board to your same type of thinking of being okay with canceling that because you wanted to grind it out? Yeah,
man, that's a big talking point, and it's a real thing, and it's both sides. The husband may not have the wife, or the wife may not have the husband on their, it's a real deal. I committed to her, and I told her, this isn't how it finishes for us. I promise you, you have to bet on it. And there were times where the rocker was like, it's not going to be like this forever, right? You promised me, right? So where is it? And she was tough. And there were times where, you know, it got real bad for me. And I do talk about it in the book, where I started lying to her about the money situation. I started telling her that, you know, the bills were getting paid, and they weren't. And the electric was getting shut off. And she was saying, I thought you told me you paid the bill. And, you know, and I just kept lying about it. Problem with the electric company, they must have made a mistake, right? Yeah, I mean, right? And then one time, I remember, guys, I'm telling you, I remember the feeling of the doorknob, the coldness of the doorknob when I walked into the house to tell her the truth. I wasn't going to lie anymore. And I told her that I couldn't pay myself for the week. And she said, I'm going to ask you one question. Did you pay your employees? And I said, yeah. And she just lost it, just freaked out. How could you do that? How could you put your employees in front of me and the boys and just slam the door, and all hell broke loose? And on one hand, I felt incredible that I was finally able to tell her the truth of the real financial situation. But on the other hand, I said, enough is enough, man. And to give you guys an example, 18 months later, my company did 100 million.
Damn.
18 months later, we did 100 million bucks.
Wow.
So it can change like that. Now, listen, there was a lot of, the place was primed, right? It was, I mean, all that hard money had been built up. I just needed this inflection point, this one more blast of energy to get it. And we did it. And I think it happened because I finally had the courage to tell the damn truth and not be a liar and not hide behind, you know, this terrible feeling of failure. Because you might fail financially, but if you lie when you're feeling financially, then you really feel like a loser.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've all done it, man. Every one of us has done it. You know, we've all gone and we bought the dinner on the credit card and we shouldn't have. I mean, we all been called before we go out to dinner and say, oh my God, how much I got on that card, right? I should have enough to get through dinner tonight, so nobody has to know how broke I am, man. I talk about it in the book, the real story.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
I appreciate you, man. You lit me up, man. You really lit me up.
Awesome.
I'm fired up.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you too, man.
Next question, guys.
Yes, yes. Mr. Manero, thank you so much for being on this call with us tonight. Really, really appreciate it, you know.
Got it.
I guess my question, you know, is a little based off the story you just told right now, and you talked a little bit about it earlier. You know, you mentioned about paying the price, right, for a certain result you want, right? And I guess my question is, what were certain things you did as an entrepreneur that would made it easy for you or worth it for you to pay certain prices you had to pay?
Like the vision.
Yeah, man, I tell you, there were a lot of dark days. I mean, really, there were a lot of days where I didn't know whether it was worth it. But I never had a plan B, y'all. Like, I only had a plan A.
Huge.
I never had one foot on the dock and the other on a boat. I always had I was either on the boat or I was on the dock. I never had a plan B. And there is one thing that's really important, though. It's Nason, right? Nason?
Right.
It's really important to understand this, that if you're going to burn the ships like that and you're going to commit all in, you have to have a role model of someone who has done what you want to do. So in this situation, it would be Alex, and people underneath you have you. But for Alex, it's Hector. There has to be somebody who has won. How many times have we worked for a company and the person who's telling us how awesome it's going to be, you're like, yeah, but it's not that awesome for you. Like, who is the guy that's got it awesome? Like, where's that guy, right?
Right.
So you have to have the visualization that the price is worth it because you can get access to a person who's done it. And then you literally just tuck in underneath them and you follow their roadmap. But what most of us believe we have to do is it has to be this school of hard knocks, and we have to bite our nose off to spite our face, and it's just got to be brutal. No, you know what? You just follow this most successful person in the room's roadmap. That's what you do.
Right.
And you do it. The best salespeople I know are not big, flamboyant, and bravado people. They're actually meticulous to the details, rhythmic. Boom, they do this every single day, no matter how boring it is or uncomfortable it is. They do the same thing. They make their 50 calls every day. They write their notes down. They follow up with their pipeline. They close when the customer has the buying patterns. They skill up. They train up over and over. It's very formulaic. Success is actually very, very structured and formulaic. It isn't this big gray area. There is a roadmap to it, gang.
Right.
And so that's an important element. If you're going to really bust it like that, you should follow somebody's lead.
Huge. Be a great copy hack, right? Just
be a good hack.
Copy the right
Yeah.
hack. Yeah.
Success leaves clues, right?
Right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manero.
Eddie, I know you had a question. Are you on, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, Matt, thank you so much. One, super excited for your success, and you're a true inspiration. And it's awesome to see someone winning in business that really supports our crusade, and that's unbelievable. But you said something about Hector that really caught my attention, and Alex too. You said that they're real pros. Now, you said that early on that really caught your attention about Hector, that his passion, his conviction, just lighting it up on stage. But now you've seen that polished, that refined Hector. So what, being a pro, what does that mean? Maybe you can elaborate more on that. And then also more of a personal question. My wife and I actually, we're thinking of making the change from California to Texas. So good move or bad move? Just wanted your
The move is a good move, but you give up a lot to move from California to Texas. It's just not as pretty. You can't get to the ocean.
Right.
Can't get to Big Bear. I mean, it's a different world here. But from an entrepreneurial standpoint, it's the wild, wild west. Texas is. It's
Nice.
they just want you to win here. No state income tax, very good, reasonable cost of living, employment all over the place. I think Texas is a real winner for at least the next decade.
Thank you.
As it relates to the to the other question, there's a great book. And Alex, I'm not sure if you did this one yet, our book of the month called The Challenger Sale.
No.
And it's by a guy named Matt Dixon. It's really an amazing book that talks about after the 2008, 2009 crash, they did a big analysis of two types of salespeople, the relationship salesperson and the challenging salesperson. And without question, the challenging salesperson beat the relationship salesperson coming out of the downturn in 08, 09. The relationship guy said, oh, no, Bob, I've been doing business with Bob for 20 years. I mean, Bob will still do business with me. No, not after 08 or 09. So to answer your question, Eddie, the expert, the master, is the one that has the ability to trigger the customer to think about things that they didn't know they should be thinking about.
Mm.
Through your expertise, through your relationship, through your experience. I mean, let's be frank about it. Alex can share stories with his potential clients that would be different than stories that someone just getting into your business could share with a potential client, because he just has more scale. He sees it from a higher altitude, right? And more experience. And that is a level of mastery, is time. But we all know that 20-year salesperson with 1 year sales experience. It's a nightmare, right? I would rather have 20 years worth of sales experience in a 1 year salesperson, and you can do it. You can do it through books, tapes, mentorship, YouTube, reading, however you need to take in the information, you can condense the time. Experts get paid, amateurs get crushed, y'all.
Ooh, nice. That's awesome. That's gold. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
You got it, Eddie.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Manero.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. So, Mr. Manero, Ms. Jonathan and Susie here. I have a question. So what's your, we talk about like your habits make your life, right? What are some daily habits that you have currently, that you had for your 25 years in business that you don't ever let go? That's what you're going to do. I mean, as soon as you wake up in the morning, this is what I got to do to get my day started, that to not derail yourself from the goal?
Yeah, I wish I had this very clearly defined. It's funny, Jonathan, that you mentioned this, because I just watched a YouTube video this week with Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about his rituals. And I was saying to myself, man, I don't know that I have that clarity to rituals that he does. I mean, he's been doing the same thing for literally 50 years, the same routines, especially in the gym. The one thing I had as a ritual was I get up and I go to the office. And I went to the office even during the pandemic. Our office was closed, but I was there every single day. And you know what? So were a few other people. They just popped in anyway, right? And we distanced and we did all that sort of stuff. But that's my gig. I get energy. That's why the new office that we built is so important to me. It has to fuel inspiration. And I need an inspirational environment around me. So I'm a worker. My family, we just bought a really beautiful lake house. And I have to tell you, I bought it for the rocker because like, I don't need a lake house. Like, I don't need a week's vacation. I need I'll probably go down Saturday morning, and by about Sunday after breakfast, I'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty much ready to come on back, get ready for Monday. So I'll see y'all later. Okay. Like, I just don't need it. And I encourage everyone to find that level of passion in your work, because, to get the wheel spinning, it takes that. So look, rituals for me, I love to work out. I love spending time with my boys. I just absolutely can't get enough of it. My oldest just went off to college, and is a real for any of you who have put a kid into college, or they've left the house. It's just heart wrenching. I mean, there's no other way. Those 18, for those of you who got young kids, I'm telling you, those 18 years go like that.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get an amen on that, Alex, or what?
Oh, amen. Yeah.
It goes like that. And I know everybody tells you, the old man stops you in the grocery store and says, hey, you better relish these years. And you're like, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm the old man in the grocery store now.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So I try to do my best. A buddy of mine, a guy named Jim Shields, has written an amazing book called 18 Summers. If anybody wants to get it, his argument in the book is that you have 18 summers with your children. What are you doing with them?
Ooh.
Pretty powerful. And I believe it is true, because if they're heading off to college or they're getting out of the house at 18, it's a different relationship after that,
Wow.
So I spend a tremendous amount of time with my kids. I do everything that they want to do. I never say no to them. If they want to go throw the ball, they want to go shoot guns, they want to go on the boat, whatever, I always say yes, because I just know that my old man didn't do that, and I know the time's flying by. But then I work. Like, look, it's midnight, y'all. I'm ready to go, man. Like, I might call my business partner with his marketing company and throw some ideas. I bet his ass is up too. I mean, I just like working. It's not a problem for me. I'm not looking for a different life, because if I was, I'd already have it. I would have already made the pivot.
Right.
And I would encourage everybody, don't lead a life that you're waiting for something to change in it. Go make the change.
Ooh.
I didn't like my life. I'd have a different life. I just wouldn't live a life I didn't like.
Right.
Now, Matt,
Even busted out broke, I just would never live a life that I didn't like.
Got it. Was that your life? Was that your balance, like with your kids, doing all those things? Like, did you have that at the beginning, or has it changed?
No, Jonathan, I think I know what you're asking. No, I didn't. I'd like to tell you that I had these wonderful rituals and everybody got equal time and it was great. No. And I'm very grateful for the rocker, because there were a lot of times in our marriage, I guarantee you this, that our marriage was falling apart and we just didn't quit on the same day. And the majority of that is because of my work.
Wow.
It was so relentless to get to a new level, to something other than I was at, that I put a lot of things on the back burner. I didn't miss games with the boys, but I certainly missed practices. I missed plays at school during the day. The rocker had to fill that void. And some days she did it with a big smile, and some days she did it with a hell of a lot of spite. For those of you spouses who might be listening and you're like, I feel like I'm playing second fiddle to my husband, or conversely, the husband thinking that to their wife's career. Yeah, well, that is pretty much true. That there will be a period of time where that's the way it's going to be. You just better come out on the other side different, because if he prolongs for a long time, that's what you don't want, right?
Right.
Thank you.
I wish I could give you a better answer, Jonathan. I wish I could tell you that there
No,
was
that was
a pie chart and each got equal slices, but it just didn't play that way for me.
perfect. Thank you so much.
You
Awesome.
bet, buddy.
Awesome. Great questions, guys. Anybody else have a question for Mr. Manero here? Anybody else? RVPs, RLs. There we go. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Mr. Manero. My name's Yasmin. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. My palms are sweaty. I'm shy.
Oh, gosh.
My name is Yasmin, and I'm here with my dad, Alfredo. I did have a quick question for you. I wrote it down just in case I didn't forget. Is there anything that you do differently if you could start over, knowing everything that you know now about business and business related? What's something that you do a little differently if you could or you would?
Yeah, thank you. I would have had more self-esteem, y'all. I'm telling you, man, I know where it comes from, and I know that some of you can relate, but I really had a lot of head cheese. I just didn't think I was worthy of success. And it forced me to prolong the success. The 15 years it took me a grinding before I started to feel better about it, I think I could have done in 5. I'm 51 years old, and I think I should have what I have today. I think I should have had it a decade earlier. I don't think it needed to take me 25 years. I think I should have done it in 10 or 15, wow. Right? So I would challenge everybody to feel good about yourself. I fought against it, but my old man's words haunted me. Always right in the back of my mind, right? I got to tell you, honestly, even in this lake house that we just bought, going through the process, I was all alone on it. I was like, am I really spending that much money on this place? Like seriously? Am I like, it doesn't always go away. So your question is insightful, and I hope my answer is what you were or weren't thinking about. I'm just telling you, we all have head cheese, and we got to work on it. We got to feel really good about ourselves and feel worthy of the outcome. And that does come with work. We have to recognize that we paid a price to enjoy a benefit, because without the price, you won't enjoy the benefit. Something will haunt you. But if you busted it, you'll say that's good, as long as you feel worthy. And I just don't want to shortchange that. We all have some of, like my buddy who passed away, my best friend in the world, he would say, why do you always listen to those tapes? Like, why do you always need those tapes? He never listened to one of them. He was the most confident, successful guy. It was great. I said, I don't know, man. I just need them. I still need them. I mean, I can fire up an old school Hector Lamarck or a Grant Cardone video in 2 minutes. I'm ready to leap off a tall building. And I hope you guys feel the same way about that stuff. Yeah. It doesn't take, once you get that brain conditioned, you only need, it's like a quick shot to the arm and you're ready to go again. You know, even the unmotivated need motivation.
Yep. Awesome. Hey, we'll take maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Matt, sorry. You know what? Ladies first. Go ahead, Bianca.
Awesome. Hi, Mr. Manero. My name is Bianca Cano. One of my questions is, I hear that you self-improve a lot, and during business, there's always going to be those days where just everything's attacking you, your own mind, your own spirit, your spouse, your children. So on those tough days, what is it that you do specifically to push forward?
I literally keep the eye on the prize. I'm constantly revisualizing what it's going to look like. And for me, it's really not about material elements anymore. It's really about legacy stuff. Who did I help? Why? Like I keep going back to the lake house, and I apologize to it, but the circumstances in which this lake house appeared, I was buying a ranch, and I was under contract on the ranch. And the day we signed the contract on the ranch, this amazing lake house, there's only 6 houses on the street. It's in the exact spot that we want. It's and I said, no, there's a reason why God put that lake house in front of me and not this ranch. And so the first phone call I made was to an orphanage in Dallas. and I said, you pick the date, and I will, the house sleeps 20 people. I said, I'll send a bus to your orphanage. You put 20 kids on that bus, and they come out to my lake house, and they'll enjoy the weekend. And all I ask of you is just give me a couple minutes to help them see that what they're enjoying this weekend, every one of them could have. Just give me that. I mean, I'll cook for them. I'll burn all the boat fuel. My kids will take them, they'll tube, they'll camp out, it'll be incredible. Just give me that 1 minute to say to them that they don't think they can get it, and this is an example that they could.
Wow. Wow, that's big. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Huge. Mr. Manero, I've got 3 daughters. I have 1 son. He's got a little bit of special needs. He's 15 years old. He never misses a Thursday Thunder like this. He's been looking forward to this one all day. I mean, he's texting me from school. He's texting me, you know, he's on the call right now.
Oh,
I love
awesome.
this boy to death. His name is Nathaniel, and he's going to do his absolute best to ask you a question here, okay? I'll translate for him. Let's see, where is he at? Nate, unmute yourself. Let's see.
Hey, Matt, thank you so much. And your bad so much. Thank you for winning. I love you, Toy. What is it that the Woody Bird, what is it called, like, Amazon, so what is it called, like a notebook, what is it called? Like a money, like a, what is it called, like a black, like a bird, what is it called?
Your book, what is it called again?
Okay, the book is called You Need More Money.
Yeah, and that one.
Asking that. It's on Amazon. Anybody can get it. Great question. Thank you, buddy.
So, what is it? How do you get it? Like an Amazon, Woody Bird?
How do you get the book? Do you go on Amazon? Where do you get the book?
Yeah, anywhere books are sold, you go on Amazon, type in my name or You Need More Money, and pay the $15 and probably get it to you in 2 hours. But it's also an audiobook. If for those of you who don't like to read and you want to listen, it's on Audible as well.
Awesome, awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Nate.
Wow, that kid, man. Wow.
Awesome, man.
Hey, guys, we might take one more and that's it. Anybody else got one quick question? Going once, twice. Good, awesome. Hey, let's all take a moment. We've got over 130 people on the call. Let's send Mr. Manero here a quick little comment. Thank him for his time, his knowledge, his energy. Guys, it is almost 12:30 where he's at. And I bet he's gonna be awake, bright and early, right? He's not gonna use this as an excuse to not go in tomorrow or to be late. He's gonna be there on time. There you go, you got messages coming in right now. Mr. Manero, if you can read those, that'd be awesome.
Oh, they're firing up.
You're really easy to find, right? How do we find you? How do people follow you?
Yeah, I mean, they can just type in Matt Manero on Google. The one thing, Alex, that I did do in the pandemic is I did shut off, I did remove Facebook and Instagram from my phone. And so I forced myself to only check that stuff off of my laptop, which I do less and less. That's maybe one of the reasons why in our dialogue, you might've been seeing a delay. It's because I'm only getting back to it. I just don't want to be a slave to that anymore. And I just say this, I have found social media to be a real time waster. It's been wonderful in certain relationships. Alex, this is an amazing opportunity that social has worked for us to connect. But in general, I find most people are watching other people live their lives on social, and I live my life. And I'm just not that interested. I find every time I hit record when I'm with my boys, I feel like I'm shortchanging that moment with my boys. And so I'm really moving away from social. So, you know, if you hit me on Facebook or on Insta or something like that, you know, I might check it once a day, maybe once every 2 days. But Twitter, I love Twitter.
Okay.
And you know, if you want to shoot me an email, you know, go right ahead. You can type in Matt Manero, it'll take you right to my website. But again, anybody in Dallas, Texas, love to invite you over to the Commercial Fleet headquarters and visit with you. come on over for a cup of coffee. I don't do lunches or any of that stuff, but if you want to come over, we'll have coffee. And Alex, I sure hope if you come through Dallas, you'll give a chance. And if I come through Phoenix, I'll give you a holler too.
Oh, without a doubt, sir. Yeah, we're supposed to make our way out there soon. So you better bet I'll message you so we can get together. I would love to do that.
Awesome.
Mr. Manero, thank you so much for your time. I already see some of the comments. He's my favorite, right? I mean, it's just, we've had so many speakers and we had a bunch of people looking forward to this one. They've read your book. You guys, if you don't have the book yet, go out and get it, whether it's, the actual hard copy or the audio version. Get the book. We're going to make it the book of the month again, probably for next month, you guys. But let's all say thank you once again to Matt Manero. Matt, thank you so much. I'll make sure to message you tomorrow, all right, and send you another thank you. Get some rest. God bless you and your family. And thank you for everything. We appreciate you a bunch.
Thank you guys too. I appreciate everybody. It was great. It was just a great time.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was great, man. Woo. Anybody enjoy it? Look at all those notes. Dang. Anybody want to share something that they feel like, you know what, that was huge? Look at Nate.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan's probably on there, hopefully. Is there any way that we could get all the panelists, all the people that are attendees to be part of panelists so they could ask questions too and be part of this conversation? Maybe somebody wants to ask something.
It's going to take a little minute. There's 74 people.
Okay, yeah.
See if you can do that. That'd be cool.
Yes. We'll give it to the.
Here you go. Here we go. Now she's been waiting
Thank
up
you,
at the door here forever.
Thank you so much.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Say where's Camila?
Where's Camila?
Ah, there she is. Say where's Azalia?
Where's Azalia?
Look at Eddie and Lori. So where are your three girls at?
Where are your three girls at?
They're probably all sleeping. Oh, bro, these kids, man. Hey, I kid you not. Where's Nate? Sandra says she was up last night at about 1:30. And Nate was like walking around the kitchen, like grabbing snacks at 1:30 a.m. And he wakes up at 5:30. This guy literally goes on 4 hours sleep every day. Crazy. All right, there we go. We're letting some more people on. This is cool. Something different, right? I see Melissa. I see Neil. What's up? Look at Golden. So what's up, Golden?
Is that Golden?
Yes.
Coming to you from Oregon.
Oh, you're in Oregon. Awesome. We've been there once. I'd say it was about 15 years ago. We went to a 4th of July party. Man, that's the best 4th of July party I've ever been to.
All right, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. What do I remember?
My bag.
We had a softball tournament. We took number 1. I remember there was a river that divided Oregon and Washington. I remember crossing through that river.
Columbia
River, yeah. I don't remember much after that, but it was beautiful. Beautiful place.
Well, I know that us in the Bundy Bay Shop would love to have you guys up. So anytime you're in the Northwest, man, we are fired up.
Oh, yeah. We would love to do that. Heck yeah. We'll do that soon. That'd be really cool.
Alex,
what's up, Bundy's?
Question, man.
There you go.
What's up, my man? How are you, Alex?
Oh, we're doing awesome, man. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing great, man. Hey, much love, man, for the invitation to get on these. These have been unbelievable for our team. RVPs this has been great. So thanks again for inviting us onto this.
Absolutely, guys. Anything we can do, man. Heck yeah.
We actually switched our op nights to Tuesdays because we had op nights on Thursdays, so we could plug into these with you. So man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Hey, listen, man. I feel like, okay, who else can I invite on here like to speak? But the one that I have lined up for next week. Oh man. You want me to just tell you guys now?
Yes, Tom, babe.
Dude, wow.
Please. Yes.
He's a Prime-American, okay? Because right, I was trying to tell somebody earlier, and they're like, okay, well, is it somebody in Prime-America or not? Yes, this dude is a legend in Prime-America. One of my favorites that I listen to, just old school, super brilliant. Anybody want to take a guess?
Art Williams.
No,
Bill
not
Arender.
yet. Not yet, although he's coming.
Danielle Alonso.
Bill Arender. Bill Whittle.
Bill Arender is our guest speaker next week, guys. I got Bill Arender to do it. I actually talked to him on the phone today. Freaked me out. But he's already confirmed for next week, Thursday Thunder. He's going to absolutely light it up. If you don't know who he is, my favorite video, and he's got a bunch of them, but my favorite video, you can YouTube it. I don't know if it's, hopefully it's still on YouTube, but.
Chap, it's not even on, bro.
It's not. How do we find it now?
It's a replacement.
Yeah. Bill Arender replacement.
Look.
That's how I searched it years ago and I found it, but there's got to be a way, man. If there's anybody good here with computers, see if you can help us find that. But Bill Arender replacement. And if you can't find the actual video, the audio's on SoundCloud.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that, babe. SoundCloud has the audio.
Yeah, this dude is amazing, man. Just an old school, like living legend in Prime-America. You guys are gonna absolutely love it. And he lives also in Texas. I think he's in Dallas. And you know, he's like, Alex, I'd love to do it, but it would have to be, he said 8 o'clock his time, which I think is 6 o'clock Arizona time. Okay, so keep that in mind. It'll be on the flyer, but so whatever time that is for you, it'll be 6 p.m. Arizona, 8 p.m. Dallas, Texas. Okay, but this dude's my favorite. But then there's Hector. I don't know. Both of those guys are my favorite, right? But he's gonna be incredible. Can't wait for that one. Did somebody have a question?
What if you get the real Brad Lee?
I'm working on Brad. Working on Brad. We've talked already a couple times. And he's willing. He's just so busy and he does so many. It's just a matter of fitting into his schedule. If you guys have anybody in mind that you think that you'd like for us to get, I mean, let me know. Who?
Andy V.
Andy Frisella. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Babe, tell them when you have Cardone scheduled for.
Grant Cardone, guys. Listen, I'm at a point where it's like, you know what? Let's just ask. I mean, what are they gonna say, man? No. So what, right? Next. And there's millions of people we can talk to, and just in Prime-America itself, there's so many studly people. I mean, we haven't even gone through half of them yet. So if you have anybody, let me know. I mean, let's ask, right? The answer is always going to be no unless we ask.
You know who I would want, Alex?
Who's that?
It's Desiree.
No, I know.
Oh. Is the lady from Shark Tank? I forgot her name with the blonde hair.
The older one or the younger one?
Younger.
The younger one.
Lori.
What's her name?
Lori.
Lori.
Yes.
Yeah, Lori. Yeah. Yeah. I can reach out to her. That'd be really cool to have her on.
Yeah, what about you get Shane Rudeman?
Shane would do it. Yeah.
Little Red Wagon, bro.
He's a good dude. Yeah. That's a good one. What about like Kim Kardashian or something? I'm kidding, guys.
Tim Grover.
Some of the girls got excited, like, yes. Some of the guys got pumped too.
Oh, bro.
David Goggins, bro.
We all brought somebody really good. Imagine if we had Tim Grover, bro.
Tim Grover.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I've known about Tim Grover since I was a kid.
Slaughter it.
Tim Grover would be good.
I've known about Tim Grover since I was a kid because I've been a Jordan fan forever.
Yeah, he's his personal trainer.
Yep.
Let's get
one of my big inspirations and why I became a trainer.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll reach out to Tim. What about like
Goggins?
Oh, David Goggins.
Yes.
Man, we're gonna have to like bleep out every time he cusses. I mean, all you're gonna
What would
hear.
David Goggins do right now, Alex?
Huh?
What would David Goggins do right now?
Oh, Goggins would break his own ankles and like run here to Arizona. That's just that dude's crazy. Yeah. What if, I mean, hey, there's athletes we can talk to. If anybody has any connections with any athletes, we can do that.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that, babe, that one of the greatest things that we've been able to have is a blessing this year for the hierarchy and for everybody that are friends and that in Primerica that are plugging into this. And it's a great thing you did that because you're blessing a lot of people, but you're bringing a lot of people that are from outside of Primerica that, as you've seen, they have things that we can't get away from. Like what I'm trying to say is like there's rules of business that never change, and
Right.
you see it, and you're like, man, that's what we've been doing, and you know that you're on track to get to the next level because you're doing the right things.
Right.
If you're doing the right things, the people on this call, and if you're not, get doing the right things.
Right.
And it's amazing how it doesn't change. I
Doesn't
love
change,
this
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I love his energy. He brought so much value to everybody on this call. He knows your name. He studied you.
Yeah.
When he said that he studied you, I was like, wow, man, this is unbelievable. These are gold nuggets we should all get and learn to build it in our business, and
Right.
it's amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you for reaching out and allowing us all to, have a blessing from it.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
bro,
there's-
good thing you killed it on that game plan video too, bro.
Man, I look so different on that. You probably thought, like, wait, this isn't the
Dude,
same
you
guy.
probably
Is it?
like, this guy's been catfishing.
How about AC Green?
AC Green? AC Green?
The basketball player.
Yeah. I know AC Green. Yeah.
He's a friend.
Really? I can't. Who's speaking? I can't see.
My name is Rebecca Dorsey. I'm in the Bundy
Where are you
base
at?
shop.
I needed a. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see your name right there. Hey, that'd be great, Rebecca. If you can set that up, that'd be awesome.
I'll make a
Green's
call.
the next Laker. Like, that'd be incredible.
Right.
Die-hard Laker fan. That's right.
He's a great guy, and he does a lot of community give back.
Okay.
He runs special programs for underprivileged kids
Okay.
in LA and Portland and somewhere else. I can't remember.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah.
Hey,
Because he's actually from
Uh-huh.
Portland.
Oh, okay. Hey, if you can set that up, talk to the Bundys. They can reach out to me, and we'll fit that into the schedule here. I mean, there's so many people, guys, that whether they're in the business or not. Sandra's right. There's just these universal laws that they all follow, and that's why they have massive success. Because winning is winning, whether it's winning here, winning in sports, winning in the trucking business like Matt Manero has. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just universal, man. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Anything?
Hey, bro, there's quite a few Primericans that could light it up. Like, dude, Bill Whittle would light it up, bro. Being able to hear stories like Doug Hartman's, You know, if,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure Tuttle would probably do it too, man.
Oh, yes.
You know? These guys are animals, dude. You know.
Tuttle would be good. Bill Whittle, I don't know if you guys know. Let's keep his family in prayer. He's going through some heart issues, like him personally. He was in the hospital, so let's keep him in prayer. But once he's out and he's healthy again, Bill Whittle would be a good one. Tuttle would be awesome. Okay, I see that. Mike Sharp. I mean,
How to keep advocating for Keith Otto?
Keith Otto. Okay, Keith Otto. Yeah. I know Patty would be excited.
Yeah.
We can have man. What about Rick Susie?
Dang.
What
What about Jason Kidd?
Jason Kidd.
Hey, have Rick Susie light us up, bro.
Oh, that'd be a great one. What about Snoop Dogg?
Hey, for aiming high, freaking Michael Jordan, shoot. The
Well,
greatest
Mayweather.
basketball
That's
player
reaching
ever.
for the stars right there.
Hey, you gotta reach high, gotta go all the way.
You guys
It's
think
no
big. I
going
like
else.
it.
Coach, let's get John Maxwell.
Ooh, Maxwell. See that? I mean, there's a lot of people, guys, that if we put our brains together here and, you know, we brainstorm, we can think of some good ones, man.
Eric
And again,
Thomas.
it's just a matter of asking. Yeah, Eric Thomas.
Les Brown.
Les Brown. Who is that, Neil?
Lisa Nichols.
Lisa Nichols. What about what's that guy's name? Is it Inky Johnson?
Yeah, Inky.
Inky
Yep.
would be awesome. You guys should follow him if you don't. Huh?
What about Chris Gardner? Yeah, I don't know.
Like the actual guy? Yeah, from
Yeah, from Pursuit of Happiness, the one that Will Smith portrayed.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, so many. And again, the beautiful thing about it is that they can do it from the comfort of their home. We're not asking them to fly in or anything. They don't have to leave their family. You know, a lot of them are just sitting around anyway. They have the time, so they're willing to do it a lot of the times. And if not, again, it's cool, right? We just keep moving. Next one, right? Awesome.
Will Smith.
That'd be crazy cool.
Why not Shaquille O'Neal?
Oh hell, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
Shaq Diesel. Yeah. Shaq's a character. We've had a chance to meet him. He's really cool.
Mike Tyson. Damn.
Yeah.
As long as it's on the Zoom, I'm cool.
Yeah. You don't want to get that dude pissed off, right?
My ears are small enough.
Yeah. Wow. I see the comments, guys. Some of you guys are crazy.
Coach, The Rock.
Jeez. The Rock.
The wives aren't allowed to watch though.
Oh yeah. Oh God, you guys, are you serious? Look at that. Oh,
Joe
wow. Yeah.
Guys, what about Oprah?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Here we go.
That could go a whole another direction. That's hilarious.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
It's Yasmin here. I know. I don't know if you guys know who Larry Williams is. Larry Williams, Bone Collector, the street basketball player.
Yeah.
No.
No, the street basketball player.
Probably. Is he like all over YouTube?
Yeah, he's the one that like clowns on people in basketball.
He's not like that small white kid, the professor or something.
No, he's a real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know him personally. He was our basketball coach in high school.
Oh shoot. Yeah. I mean, let me search him, but yeah, he breaks people's ankles.
Yeah.
Alex,
No.
Yeah.
What about Oprah?
Oprah.
Seriously, I might get a connection.
Do you really?
Yeah, Ricardo, my brother's working at her house in Hawaii. It's not the house, it's the ranch, the property.
That'd be cool, man.
Okay, I will start it tomorrow.
Yeah, see what you can do. How crazy would that be, huh? Post that on Instagram. We got Oprah on our Thursday Thunder.
Dang!
That'd be hilarious, man. Yeah. Yeah, you see, you guys, I mean, we can keep going forever. There's so many great options. It's just a matter of reaching out. Who's Joe Dirt? No idea. No idea. My aunt cooked for Clint Eastwood. Let's have your aunt on. Wow, guys.
Hey, serious though, champ. What if we get Jeff Philstad?
Yeah, Jeff would be a great one, and I'm sure he'd be willing to do it. Let me reach out to him. Yeah, we'll set that up for this month. Jeff's a good friend. We could set that up. Cheech and Chong. Yeah.
So we can wait next speaker. We're excited.
You excited for next speaker?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never met him, but that boy.
You never met that boy. Hey, listen, we got Nate. We got to get your teachers on here, buddy. Your teachers got to be listening to this stuff.
And no, we have a Thursday Thunder. We have 9 p.m.
Thursday Thunder, yes, next week. You guys, awesome. Hey, if anybody, if you don't have any questions or anything, Gary V, I've reached out to Gary V. I'll follow up, right? He's on my follow-up list. He'd be a great one also. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? No, we good? Awesome. Hey, listen, we had about 150 people on today. For next week, bill of render, I'd really like to see us get it to 300, right? 300 people, but it's us rallying our teams, old recruits, new recruits, right? I mean, everybody, blast it out to our teams. Let's get 300 people. I know we can do it. Once we hit 300, we'll start talking about 500, but for now, 300 is a goal. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. To all the RVPs, thank you. We love and appreciate you guys. Let's be in touch. Say bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Bye, Camila.
Bye, thank you.